Okay, a very warm welcome, everybody, reaching you live from here at Brixton Library, where this launching is taking place, launching of the Academy of Contemporary Stockbrokers and Savvy Investors. Yes, the world of stockbroking has changed, and many people do not know it. Yes, it has changed, it has changed, it has changed. If you're watching me live or watching after this, let me ask you, do you have a stockbroker? Do you have a stockbroker? Just put down the answer. If you have a stockbroker, write it down. If you don't, say I don't. The world of stockbroking has changed. Many people, many people who have stockbrokers are still operating by the old rules, and they are losing money. They don't know what is happening. Before I go on, let me tell you that today, as I was coming here to this library, I made a couple of moves on the road. Okay, today, as a contemporary stockbroker, as a contemporary, as savvy investor, you can do things on the road just as you do. You check your messages anywhere there is Wi-Fi internet connection. You can do the same thing when you follow the things I'll be sharing with you today and over the next couple of weeks. Let me also say that number one, this is not a financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, okay? I am a savvy investor. I'm a financial educator, and I'm going to be telling you the things I am doing. I'm going to be analyzing the stock market for you using the Nigerian exchange, the Nigerian stock market as a case study. As somebody who has shares in more than 20 companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I have a few things to say to you. I've got shares in at least 20 of the publicly quoted companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Today, I have made moves before coming here. While this launching of this academy is going on, I'm going to be doing things. So if only you have an app, I will have said log in and check. Just check the status of the Nigerian exchange, check what the shares are saying. I'm going to be doing things. So that is why today I'm telling you that things have changed. Many people are like still operating a typewriter mindset. Imagine in this world of computing, if you are a typist or you are a secretary and you are still using a typewriter or using a correction fluid to do work when you can just use the back arrow and press delete. Or imagine if you're still using typewriter to do business, you probably, your chances are limited. And not only that, you probably won't get hired. So that is the way it is with stockbroking. Before I continue, I'm going to be making some moves, and I'm going to be calling numbers out for you to tell you I am doing live transactions. Okay, I'm going to check in at the Nigerian Stock Exchange now, and just for teaching sake, I'm going to be doing stuff. I'm going to be calling the numbers, the situation of the market, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm now on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Like I said, I have investment in at least 20 of the companies on the Nigerian exchange. So I do make daily, every working day, Monday to Friday. I make moves. I do things. Whether the market is up and down, if you're a contemporary investor, if you're a savvy investor, it does not matter. You can transact business, you can do things, whether the market is up and down, it doesn't bother you. Those are the things which I'm going to be teaching in this academy over the next couple of weeks. Okay. And also when the course is out, when a course is out later, but I'm not going to say that now. When the course comes out later, the things which work, which a savvy investor must know, I'm going to be putting them across in the course. So right now, I'm on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Okay, right. You're not able to see that, but I'll be telling you what I am doing now. And if any of you has any access to a stockbroker, or you can check the data later of what the market situation is. Right now, let me check to see. Right, okay. Right now, Africa Prudential is down. Let me just see, is up. African Prudential is up by 0.95%. That means the shares of African Prudential, they are up by 0.95%. That is good for me. Okay, I'm going to show you if you can see here. Okay, probably you're not able to see that, but the shares of Africa Prudential, they are up by 0.95%. So I'm going to see whether I've got something in my portfolio. Like I said, I've got shares, investment in more than 20 companies, more than 20 publicly quoted Nigerian companies. So in my portfolio, I can buy, I can sell. That's what a savvy investor does. A savvy investors can buy, I sell, and there's no emotional attachment to any company, right? Okay, so so I've got over 500 units. So I'm going to sell 500 of my stocks of what I have in my portfolio. Africa Prudential, I'm going to sell about 500 units of my shares there. That's going on. That's what I'm doing now. 500. Okay. Right, as I'm talking to you, I've put in my order to sell, to offload part of what I have in my portfolio. So don't forget again that, and also what I need to mention is that being a savvy stockbroker is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but you are empowered. You'll be empowered to know how to deal with up and down market and to make a move. So I've done that. So as we are talking to you, less than 5 minutes, I've transacted business. Okay. I have offloaded some of my portfolio, African Prudential. Let me see the market again. So these are the things which I'm going to be teaching. These are the things which I'm showing you that you're going to learn in this academy. Okay, and then also you are empowering yourself. You'll be empowered, whether you want to make this a side also, or you just want to know how to deal in shares. You just want to be able to invest a tiny amount of your money, not more than a month's salary, okay, or even less. You can even invest just a tiny 10% of a monthly salary. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. You're not going to invest anything right now because you need to learn first. And also, as a disclaimer, I am not being sponsored. This academy is not being sponsored by any organization. I'm not on the payroll of any organization, just to put that out there. This academy being launched today is solely independent, founded by me, and is launched today. So I am not under anybody's payroll, just to put that out there as well. So no conflict of interest. This is just to empower, to broaden the market, to broaden the sphere, because many of us, because of our background, we know nothing. We know nothing about the financial services. We know nothing about investment, about shares. The stock market is being left exclusively to a particular group of people. So this is what I want. I am democratizing it. This academy is democratizing investing in shares, becoming a stockbroker. All right, I've done that. So let's see again. I'm going to check my portfolio and then see what I can do again. So in the space of 1 hour, I'm going to make as many moves as possible. Okay. ICO Insurance is down. The shares of ICO Insurance, if you have any access to Nigerian exchange, these are live events happening on the floor in the Nigerian exchange or the Nigerian stock market. ICO Insurance is down. The shares there are down by 0.73. When the values of a shares are down, it's always a good place to buy. So I'm going to snap up a couple of the shares now. So as you're watching me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy some quantity right now. Okay, 1,000 units. No, I'm going for 2,000 units of ICO. Bam, I've sent the order. 2,000 units of ICO insurance are being processed as I am talking, as this seminar, as this launching of this academy is ongoing. This is what being a savvy investor, being a contemporary stockbroker is about. You can make moves, you can transact in shares, you can buy, you can sell from the comfort of your own phone or your device. Okay, that order has been submitted. All right, I'm checking the market again. So this is, you can make this your side also. You're doing your investment by the side. Many people do have been retrenched, or you don't have any work, or whether you have a work or not, whether you have a full-time 9 to 5 job or not, you can make this a side hustle by putting your money to work. Let us say, for instance, we want to put 50,000 naira to work. I'm going to be showing you in the next class how to go about this. So right now, let me continue. Okay, let's see what is up again. Austin Lars, don't have anything there. Not enough to sell. Okay, Cement, Cadbury. If you hear me mention any name, these are the companies which I have that come up in my feed. These are companies where I have investment. Cadbury, nothing I cannot sell. I don't have enough. Coveting offshore. Let's see what I've got there. Okay, not enough to sell. Champion Breweries, I'm not selling yet. The shares, they haven't gone up from what they opened in the morning. It's at 0%, so I'm not selling. Champs is down. The shares of Champs, they are down by 4.21%. Anytime the value of a shares, that is a down market, is an opportunity to add to my portfolio. So I'm going to be going for some quantity, for some unit of Champs shares. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. Bam. 3,000 units of Champs shares, they are being processed as I speak. I have sent them, I've put them in. This is what being a contemporary stockbroker is about. This is what being a savvy investor is about. If I were to speak to my stockbroker, by the way, I've got two stockbrokers. They are traditional stockbrokers. I haven't spoken to them. I've not sent in any request to them in the past 1 month. Okay. But if I were to sell, if I were to buy shares today, I will need to write to my stockbrokers. I will need to write to either of them, send in money, and then they are then going to put the thing forward for me. But right now, I am right here inside the Brixton market, processing, looking at the market myself, and then doing what I want from the comfort of my phone through the app. Right, so that has been submitted for me to buy those shares. Okay, let's go on and see. But again, champion, like I said, charms, I've just done charms. Interestingly, charms has gone down further by 5 to up to 5%. When I was speaking to you a few moments ago, it was about 4% down, but now it's gone down deeper. It's deeper down. I fancy a number more. Let me get 1,500 units more. Oops, no. Okay, so right now I've put in order to buy additional 1,500 units of charms, of shares of charms. Probably many of you will probably have not even heard of some of the names I'm mentioning. Over 200 companies are on the Nigerian Stock Exchange that are publicly quoted in the first tier of the market. And again, let me say this using Nigeria as a case study, these same technique, these same principles, you can apply it to any market, any exchange, whether it's the London Stock Exchange or New York Stock Exchange. Of course, I've got shares in the US companies as well, but I'll be using the Nigerian Exchange NGX as case studies. Okay, so that is what that has been processed, or that has been processed. It was successfully submitted. I'm going to get an email later. An email will be sent later to tell me the status of my order. Let's go on. Right, looking at the market, having my hot chocolate, that's what a contemporary stockbroker and a savvy investor you can do. Like I said, if I were to send an instruction to my stockbroker, maybe 10 minutes, I email them, wait for them to send me back, and then, send money to their account. But right now, I can do this, I can transact business from the comfort of my own phone. This, like I said, later on, not today, probably not next week, but when it is time to introduce you to a course, and I'll be guiding you through. These are the things which you can do that is done, that has been successfully put in. Okay. RB Mortgage Bank also is down by over 9%. Remember, when the value of a shares are down, for those, if you know what you're doing, it's an opportunity to add to your portfolio. This is what I'm going to do now. It is down by 9%. AB Mortgage Bank. Like I said, these are live events happening on the Nigeria exchange. AB Mortgage Bank is down. The shares are down by over 9%, 9.68. I fancy that. Oops. Okay. I've put in request to buy 1,000 units of AB Mortgage Bank shares. That's been processed. It's been submitted. Okay. Checking what is next. Again, I'm checking the next, checking still on the market. Cornerstone Insurance, the shares are down by 0.51%. That's a good place to buy. Right. Do not forget, this masterclass is about empowering you, as this academy is launched today. I am showing you democratizing investing, becoming a stockbroker, and becoming a savvy investor. That's been submitted. I'm still checking the market. Dangote Cement is down. No, before I come to Dangote Cement, CWG, the shares of that company are down by 2.8%. Don't forget, when it is time for you, like I said, when I put you through in a future class on how you can set up your own brokerage account, I'll tell you when to buy is when the shares of a particular company are down. Right now, on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, CWG shares, they are down by over 2%. So when they are down, when the market goes down, if you have any shares in a particular shares, any of your shares are down, that is a place to buy. Don't forget, I have shares in more than 20 companies on the Nigerian exchange. So every single trading day, I have something to do. As I'm here at Brixton Library, I am doing business on the Nigerian exchange. This is what being a contemporary stockbroker and a savvy investor is about. So I'm going to go for CWG shares because it's in my portfolio. They are down by 2.8%. All right, let me see what I can buy. Okay. Buying 300 units. Don't forget, if I were to do this through any of my two stockbrokers, I will need to email them with an instruction to say, buy me 300 units of CWG shares. But right now, here at Brixton Library, from the comfort of my own device, I can do things on the Nigerian exchange. These are the things you'll be learning in the series of master classes that will be coming up. So right now, as this launching of this academy is taking place, I'm showing you, and like I said, don't forget, being a contemporary stockbroker, you can do things the way you check your messages on the go. When I was coming this morning, I was on the bus, I was taking the exchange, I saw what I fancied, I made moves. When I was on the tube, before the library before this meeting room was open for me, I checked the exchange. So as we are speaking, as this launching is taking place, I am on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I do not need to email any of my two stockbrokers. I still have two stockbrokers in Nigeria, but I haven't used them in the past 1 month, and I'm not using them to do what I am doing now. And don't forget, being a contemporary stockbroker is not a get rich quick. So later in subsequent weeks, when I have a camera to show you what I'm doing, but if I'm buying my head, I am checking, to see what moves I can make. Right now, I'm checking my portfolio. Don't forget, I've got shares in more than 20 companies of the Nigerian exchange. So I do business every trading day. Before coming to launch this academy today, I was up in the morning. I have made at least 20 transactions today. So right here, as I'm here doing this launching, I am making transactions. I'll be calling the situation of the market to you now when I check my portfolio. Right, I was talking the other time, right? And I said many of you have not probably heard of the names of some companies that are on the exchange. Right now, their communication has been flying through the roof. It's up by over 9%. I don't have anything to sell. And don't forget also, many people invest in the stock market. They have stockbrokers. They lose money. They don't let them know when to sell. They don't know when to buy. If you have the shares of that communications, because it's been flying through the roof, and as I'm talking now, it is up by over 9%. If I were to have enough in my portfolio, this is a place to sell. But right now, I'm not touching their communication. I'm not buying. Also, when shares of a company are up, that's not the time to buy. Many novice investors or old-time investors, you go to the secondary market or your stockbroker asks you to buy. No, you don't buy the shares of a company when they are up. It's like trying to buy shoes when they are during Christmas, when the prices are up. You don't buy the shares of any company when they are up. Those who invested in Nvidia, they bought. If you're an insider with your knowledge, not an insider in a criminal way, but with somebody who is a savvy investor, you buy when the shares of that company, when they are down. So right now, that communication shares, they are up, but I'm not buying. I've got some in my portfolio, but I'm not buying. Dangote Cement, as I'm talking to you right now, Dangote Cement, the shares are down by 1.84%. So that is interesting to me. I've got shares in Dangote Cement, so I'm going to buy more because they are down at this moment. This is when to buy. When they are down, it's down by 1.84%. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Okay, as I'm talking to you, I've put in orders for some quantities of Dangote Cement shares. So I love Aliko Dangote, he doesn't know me, but I buy into his company. And when it is time to sell, I sell some. Don't forget also, as a contemporary stockbroker, as a contemporary and savvy investor, I am not attached. I am not emotionally attached to any company. I buy when the values are down and I sell when the values are up when I want to. And also, do not forget, market situation changes in a day. When the Nigeria Stock Exchange is open or the London Stock Exchange during the trading hours, the values of a company, they go up. Some might go up, some might come down. So as a savvy investor, as a contemporary stockbroker, you can do things. That's why I said that those who are still living in the past, your stockbroker is right there. It's not going to tell you and it's not getting in touch because it's not under obligation to get in touch with you to let you know you have shares in First Bank. You don't know whether they are up or down. So, and you're waiting for dividend. Fine, I get dividend as well. But as somebody who is savvy, I do business every trading day. Why come here? So right here, as I'm here in this library now, I am doing stuff. Okay, let me check again. Get back to the market. So I'm back. I'm still on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange, right here in Brixton in South London. I am not writing any of my two stockbrokers. I'm not asking them to do anything. I am doing them right in the comfort of this library on my own phone. Right, let's check what again is happening. Abbey Mortgage Bank is down by over 9%. If you have shares in Abbey Mortgage Bank, this is a time to buy. This is not the time to sell, except you are desperate for money. Never sell when the market is down. Many people sell their shares, they don't know whether it is up and down. Never sell. It's like selling your property, selling what your market when it is rock bottom. Now, Abbey Mortgage Bank, the shares are down. Is a time for me to buy. I have already bought some of it right now. Later in the day, the market might move, market might swing, and the shares might go up. But right now, I'm not doing anything. ABC Transport, let me see. Right, like I said, many people will probably never have heard of some names I'll be calling. I have shares in over 20 companies on the Nigerian exchange. So every single day, there is something for me to do. Either I'm buying or I'm selling. I'm investing my money very well. Right, so let's go on. Okay, Dangote Sugar is not up or down, it's at 0%. I'm not doing anything. Okay, this is a good place to be. I'm not buying, I'm not selling because it's at 0%. Okay, that's what the market is saying. Deep capital market. Okay, all right, let me move on. Eco market. Okay, Eco Bank. The shares are down by 8.7%. This is interesting to me. This is a time to buy. I have some in my portfolio, and I'm going for Eco Bank shares. If you have a stockbroker right now, you get in touch and you say, please, this is 20,000 in my brokerage account. Buy me 100 units of Eco Bank. If you're doing this right as I'm speaking, you are making a smart move. Reason being that the shares of Eco Bank, they are down right as I'm speaking right now by 8.7%. So I'm going to be processing, I'm going to be buying straight away. I'm buying, they are 45 naira a unit. I'm buying and I'm having my hot chocolate. How many do I buy? Right as I'm talking to you, I've made orders, I've put in orders for 150 units of EcoBank shares. This is how to do it. So I'm not waiting until they declare results at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year. No, I'm going to get dividend, whatever it is, whether it's 100 naira or whatever it is, but I can still do things on a daily basis. This is what being a contemporary stockbroker is all about. The orders have gone in. I'm still in the market. Don't forget, I have investments in over 20 companies. I'm just being conservative. I have investment in over 20 companies on the Nigerian exchange. When they're doing their AGM, I get report. When they're declaring dividends, whether it is half year or at the end, those who declare their dividends at the end of the year, I'll wait for that. But also, I can do stuff on a regular basis. So you are not just relying on the dividends they are going to declare in December or in September or in October. So these are the things this academy is about. That is why I call it a game-changing academy. So I'm still on the floor of the Nigerian exchange. I'm checking now to see my portfolio, what is happening in the market right now. If you have any stockbroker right now, I'm going to be calling some names. You can give them instructions straight away to say, what is the situation of my shares? I want to buy or I want to sell. Let me go on and see. Okay, Dangote Cement is still down 1.84%. Don't forget, market can change. It can swing. That is why it is called, whether it's a bear or a bullish market, market can swing in the space of a day, just like, it happens based on the forces of demand and supply. So Dangote, go on. EcoBank, 8.72%. Like I said, I've already bought some units. Transact International, if you have any shares there, they are going up right now, is up by over 9%. Let me see if I can sell anything. Okay, nothing to sell there. Unicell is zero. I've got shares in Unicell, I've got stakes in Unicell International. Fall City Merchant Bank is at 0% as we speak. Don't forget, when it's at 0%, I'm not buying and I'm not selling. It's neutral. If the shares were up at this particular time, I could have bought Fidelity Bank. Okay, Fidelity Bank right now, the shares are up by 0.51%. Let me see if there's something there for me. Okay, right now, Fidelity Bank, I'm going to be making a sale. Don't forget, I don't have any emotional attachment to any company, to any bank. Your business as a contemporary stockbroker is to move money. You are not waiting until the company is going to declare dividends in September or in June for half-year results. No. While that will be coming, I can still do things on a daily basis. So Fidelity Bank, like I said, let me have a look again. Fidelity Bank is up by 0.51%. My team is not here, so I can't move my camera. Let me see if you can have a look. That's the situation of the market because Fidelity Bank is up by 0.51%. I've got some in my portfolio. I'm going to sell part of what I have in my portfolio, part of the Fidelity Bank stocks I have in my portfolio because this is a time to sell. Do not forget the fundamentals. When they are up, when your shares are up, you can buy, you can sell at that time. For those who are living in the past, you're waiting for your stockbroker to get in touch with you to tell you they don't have that time to get in touch with you. Okay, as I'm talking right now, I have put in orders to sell some of what I have in my portfolio, some of the Fidelity Bank shares that I have in my portfolio. As I'm talking to you, the orders are being processed. If you have any stockbroker in Nigeria right now, and you find out from them, if you have shares in Fidelity, you can call them straight away to say, hey, I want some of my Fidelity shares to be sold because it's up marginally. If, for instance, you've got 4,000 units of Fidelity Bank, you do not need to wait until, if I have 4,000, I'm not going to wait. I've just sold over 1,000 units of Fidelity Banks now because it is up. When they are down, I buy. It can be down again by the end of the trading day. I'm going to buy. But right now, as I've spoken to you, they are up. So I've sold 1,000 units. Don't forget, I have shares. I have investment in over 20 companies quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So I do business every trading day, Monday to Friday. And don't forget, this academy is not sponsored by anybody. No obligation, no attachment, no conflict of interest. I am just out to empower you because many times this sort of business, it has been outsourced to a group of people. Many of us do not have a stockbroker in our family lineage. We don't even know any stockbroker. So with this academy, you can be empowered. Like I said, I'm going to be launching a course later, but over the next 2 weeks, and to give you heads up, next week, Thursday, at the same time, I'm going to be here live at Brixton Academy. Of course, you can watch this broadcast later on. But right now, let me continue on the stock exchange, Nigerian Stock Exchange. If you have any stockbroker, right now you can fact check what I'm telling you. I'm logging in on my phone, on my iPhone 6, and I am doing business. This is what a contemporary stockbroking is about. This is what being a savvy investor is about. So I'm checking my portfolio again to see what the market is. I'm checking. It doesn't disturb me having my drink. Okay, right now, Access Bank, the shares of Access Holdings, they are down by 0.21%. This is when you buy. Okay, if you have shares, except you are desperate for money, if you have your stockbroker, let's say you have 5,000 units of Access Holding shares, you don't sell when the market is down, except you are desperate for money, whether medical emergency or you don't have money to feed, or your children are in school, they want to throw them out, otherwise you hold on. But do not forget, if you are still operating in the past, your stockbroker is not going to be on the phone to you to say, hey, Oga, the market is up, your shares are down or they are up. They just don't have that time. They just do not do that. So this is why if you're joining me, if you're becoming a part of this academy, I am empowering you. You'll be empowered how to go about. Next week, I'm going to show you how you can set up your brokerage account. So next week, and that's why this is happening live. I'm telling you what is happening right now on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So I'm going to be buying some Access Holding shares to increase what I have in my portfolio. So I'm not waiting for Access Holdings. I'm not waiting for when they're going to declare results, dividends at the end of the financial year. I can take my destiny into my hands, whether it is 100 naira you're going to make, a little here, a little there. You're trading, you are moving your money about. So I leave some quantity there for dividend purposes, but also doing business on a regular basis. So I've sent in orders to buy some unit of Access Holding shares. So I continue. So as I've been here now within the space of an hour, I have done at least 10 deals. Market day on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. For those in Nigeria, it closes after 2, around 2:20. For UK time, that is after 1 p.m. So there is still about less than 2 hours to go. But as I've been here in less than an hour, I have made at least 5 transactions, buy and sell. Do not forget, I am not emotionally attached to any of the over 20 companies where I have shares. I'm just doing business, just like the markets. Like one musician saying, is like Oja Oyingbo is like a market. So you're not attached, I'm not attached, but I operate based on market principles, market fundamentals of shares. You buy when the shares are down, a company, you buy when the shares of that company is down, and then you sell when the values of the shares of that portfolio is down. Right now, let me log in again and see what the market is saying. Okay, right now let me give you a heads up. If any of you have, GTCO, Guaranteed Trust Holding, if you have any shares in GTB, this, as we are speaking, it is up by 0.75. At this particular moment, GTCO Bank, the shares are going for 106, 106.8. So I'm going to check. I don't have anything to sell here, but if right now, like I said, if you are operating in the past, your stockbroker is not going to ring you to say, hello, sir. Do you want me to sell some of your GTCO shares? No, they don't have that time. Okay. So when you get empowered through this academy, like I said, next week, I'm going to show you how to set up your brokerage account so that as I am doing this from the console, if I was to sell now, let's say I have GTCO shares now, let's say I have 1,000 unit of GTCO now, I can just email my stockbroker to say, please sell 900 because it is up. And don't forget, when market goes up, it comes down. Right now, it is going for 106. So if you were to have GTCO shares, you're not just waiting until they declare dividends. You can make a tiny profit. Okay. And don't forget, when you're in the market, if you want to take this seriously, you're going to be here for a long time. Later, also in the course which I'll be introducing later, I'm going to show you your exit plan, when to take your money off the table. Because don't forget, markets go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. Many people do not know when it is time to go take their money off the table. And then they stay there until, it's like something has gone past its sell-by date. So I'm going to be coming to that in subsequent weeks. But right now, if you were to have, as I'm speaking right now, as this launching is on, if you have shares, if you have GTCO right now and you want to make money rather than wait until when they are going to declare dividends at the end of September or December, you can email your stockbroker and say, I've got 5,000 units there. Please sell 3,000, and then you have enough profit. You can see what you invested, what you bought in, your shares will still be there. You can still get that dividends later, but you can make a tiny profit, because don't forget, nothing lasts forever in the market. As they are up right now, just up by 0.75% from 106 naira per share. It's not going to remain like this forever. In fact, before the end of the business day, market might swing against it, but that's for GTCO. So I'm giving you heads up. If you have shares in GTCO right now as I'm speaking, you can email your stockbroker. If you fancy, you want just to test what I'm saying, and you just want to get some tiny profits, some money into your pocket. So if you were to sell, if you are desperate for money, because let's say, assuming you have shares in GTB, this is when to sell. Okay, this is what many novice investors do not know. They sell, they wait until they are desperate for money, or your stockbroker calls you when the market is down, when the value of those shares are down, to say, you want to sell. But if you want to sell, you have shares in GTCO, this is when you sell, because it has crossed the 100 naira threshold, and it is just up by 0.675%. Okay, let's go on. Gain Insurance, I've got shares in Gain Insurance, is in my portfolio. It is up by 0.57%. So if I have enough in my portfolio, I'll be selling right now, because don't forget, I sell when the value of my shares are up. Okay, I'm going to be selling 11,000 units of Guinea Insurance. I've got more than that in my portfolio. So I'm going to be selling 11,000 units of Guinea Insurance right now. Okay, the order is being processed. I can have my hot chocolate. If I was operating in the past, like I said, I've got 2 stockbrokers. I've not been in touch with them since the beginning of this month. I don't know what they're doing. They're not ringing me. They are not emailing me. Nothing is strictly business, but every day as I'm doing this now, I'm taking my own destiny. I'm working, I'm putting my money to work. I'm not waiting for them to call me, and I'm not going to sell when the values of my shares are down. You only do that when you're desperate for money, or when you have medical emergencies or life-threatening situation, or your children are being thrown out of school. But never sell. Never tell your stockbroker to sell your shares when they are down. But if you don't know, many people just get in touch with their stockbroker. They don't know whether the shares are down, the market situation. Okay, so this academy is about empowering you with this knowledge. Like I said, later in the month, I'm going to be introducing a course to you where you can just purchase. But for now, this master classes is to empower you, to let you know that, look, you can have a side hustle, you can put your money to work. Like I said, you can invest just a month's salary out of what you're going to make this year, and you can start small. I'm going to be talking about that next week. If you're just joining, if you're watching this later, exactly this same time next week, Thursday, I'm going to be here with a live masterclass. Okay. All right, let me check into the exchange again. I've just sold Guinea Insurance 11,000 units from my portfolio. So I still have some shares there. Don't forget, so when they are declaring dividends, when they are declaring half year or end of year results, dividends will come as of the time when they are taking stock, but on a daily basis, I am still doing things. So I'm not waiting for that time when they're going to declare dividends. I can do things. That is what being a contemporary and savvy investor is about. Let me get back to the markets. Okay, just as I was saying, the situation has changed. GTB has moved up by 0.52%. The last time I was talking, it was up by 0.51, but it is still at 106.55 naira. So if you have 1,000 units of GTB, this is the best time to be emailing your stockbroker to say, please sell half of my shares, because you can take some of your money, and then when it is time for them to declare profit, end of year result, you still get dividends, but you can make a tiny thing for yourself. And like I said, in subsequent weeks, I'm going to show you how to set up brokerage accounts so you can be transacting business. That is why this academy is Academy of Contemporary Stockbrokers and Savvy Investors. Let me check what more. Okay, honey flower. Honey flower is up. The shares of honey flower, they are up by 0.88%. Let me see. Okay, I've got over 1,000 units of honey flower shares. Okay, I'm going to sell some, because do not forget market fundamentals. I sell when the values of my shares are up. Never buy any shares when the market is up. You'll be buying, you'll be losing money. Buy when they're down. So now that they are up, I'm going to sell some in my portfolio. Right, as I'm talking to you, my order is being processed. If you have any stockbroker, this is a live event. If you have shares in honey flower, you can email them now and say, please sell some of my honey flower shares. They may not. You don't need to tell them why. You can fact check what I'm saying. Don't take my word for it. Just find out what is the situation of honey flower shares. If you have shares in honey flower at this moment, the value is up. Don't forget, situation might change before the end of the trading business day. The market is going to close in 2:20. At 2:20 is when the market closes for the day. This is UK time is 1:20. So this is over less than 2 hours away. So if you email your stockbroker now, if you have any shares in honey flower, this is time which you sell. If you want to get into the market, don't go for honey flower now. You don't buy when the shares of that value, when the value of those shares are up, because you are losing money. You are at a disadvantage. You only buy into a company when the shares of that company, when they are down in value. Okay, let's continue. I've got about 10 more minutes to go here. Okay, FTN Cocoa. I've got shares in FTN Cocoa. The value of the shares are down by over 1%. This is when I increase my portfolio, because they are down. When they are down, that's why, like I said, as a savvy investor, as a contemporary stockbroker, you buy into a company, you increase your portfolio when a particular shares are down in value. Right now, they are down by over 1%. So FTN Cocoa. So I'm going to be buying, I'm going to be increasing what I have in my portfolio because they are down by over 1%. Okay, I'm putting 1,000 units more of FTN cocoa into my portfolio. The reason is that anytime the values of a shares are down, that is when to buy. So if you set up a brokerage account with just 50,000 naira, I'm going to be showing you this next week or in subsequent weeks. You can set up a brokerage account on your phone with 50,000 naira. And because you do not just want to, because you're going through a masterclass, you just stay with that 50,000 naira. You can have stake in 5 companies, and then you take baby steps from there. You don't go straight away and put 1,000,000 naira into the market. No, you might lose your shirt. You start small, take baby steps. Okay, so right now, let me see what the market is saying again. So don't forget, I'm doing stop. The market is going to close for today, 2:20 Nigerian time. That is 20 past 2. That is when the market closes every day. And as I've been here in less than an hour, I have made 10 moves within a day. Don't forget, I have 2 stockbrokers in Nigeria. I've not spoken to them since the beginning of this month. They don't know what I'm doing, and they haven't told me when the value of anything is up or down. They email me occasionally, but but as a savvy investor, you can do stuff every single day. Today, before coming to launch this academy, I have made 20 moves. Don't forget, because I have shares in at least 20 of the companies quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So, and there's no emotional attachment to any shares. When the values are down, I buy. When they are up, I sell. That still does not stop me from getting dividends when they declare yearly or quarterly or half-year result. Okay, let's go. I've got just about 3 more minutes before I bring today's masterclass to an end and before I bring this launching to an end today. Ikeja Hotels, okay. 0% Ikeja Hotel. I've got shares in Ikeja Hotel, so it's so exciting to have shares there. But it's at 0%. I'm not touching it. I'm not buying. I'm not selling. Don't buy, don't sell when the shares what you have in your portfolio is at 0%. Good, I can sell because it's at 0. It hasn't gone down, but I'm not going to do that. I'll rather sell when the values have gone up on a particular time. International bill rates, okay, 0%. Let me see which one. Final one. University Press, 0%. I'm not touching it. Jais Bank, it's down by 0.6%. I can quickly do that now. I'm going to buy, okay? Jais Bank, don't forget, the value is down right now as I'm speaking by 0.6%, so I can quickly buy some. Yeah. Okay, I'm buying 1,000 units of Jais Bank right now. I've placed my order, it's processing because it is down. That is when you buy. So let's say you've set up a brokerage account with 50,000 naira. You can start off buying 1,000 units of Jais Bank because the value are down. So that's how you get started. Like I said, in subsequent weeks, next Thursday, same time, I'm going to be here to continue this masterclass. I'll make one more move before I close for today. John Holt, if you have shares in John Holt, It's flying off the roof today. It is up by over 9%. So if you have shares in John Holt right now, you can email your stockbroker and say, please sell half of my portfolio in John Holt, because as I'm speaking, it is up by 9.6%. Lasaco, Lagos State Assurance Company. This is going to be the last move I make. It is down by 3.29%. This is when to buy. I want to increase my portfolio, my stakes in Lasaco, because right now, as I'm speaking, I have it in my portfolio, but it is down by 3.25%, so 3.29. So if you have money, if you have a stock brokerage account with any stockbroker now, you can email them right now as I'm speaking to say, please buy me 3,000 units of Lasaco. Reason being that they are down right now. This is the last move I'm going to make before finishing for today. So 3,000 units of Lasaco, I've just added them. When I leave this library, I'm heading straight to Southern Crown Court. On the way, I'm going to be making moves. I'm going to be doing some business. That's what it is. Thank you so much for watching and for joining this launch. I'll see you. You can email me privately or you can send me WhatsApp messages. I'm going to respond to your questions later in the day. But thank you for being part of this game-changing academy of contemporary stockbrokers and savvy investors. I'll see you same time next Thursday.